RÜFÜS DU SOL. Welcome to my mind massage. This is like a core memory for me. I grew up in a little town called Lightning Ridge in Australia, and my parents are opal miners, and one part of the process of looking for opals is a tail out, which is where they sift through rocks on like a tin sort of surface, and you're just moving rocks through water. And it's really soothing for me for some reason. While my parents were opal miners, trying to find little gemstones, whatever, I didn't really get the hands-on skill for digging the dirt to find these gems, but I did find a love of finding gems in music. I spend most of my life just looking for a melody or a lyric or a feeling that I can capture and bottle it up in a song. I'm fortunate enough to do it with two really close friends. We are a three-piece band, and we essentially have a studio just as a playground where we'll use anything at our disposal to make noise. We'll rip coconuts, light matches, anything really to create an atmosphere. Atmosphere for us in music is really important, and it's just a fun place to play. We're in an electronic band, but I feel like it's really limiting to box yourself in like that. I feel like we're really just kids in a studio playing with toys, making songs, and we're about to put out our 5th album. So we've been doing it for 15 years. So it's been a good time. So our album's called Inhale, Exhale. It has 15 songs, so it's our longest album we've ever done before. We had so much fun making it. We did, I think, probably about 8 2-week trips to different studios across the country and in Ibiza. We wrote the most material we've ever written. I'm so stoked with it. It's, the opening song's called Inhale. The closing song's called Exhale. And everything in between is a fun ride. We love cross-referencing ourselves in terms of lyrics. So a lot of lyrics in the album either hint at air or breath, but realistically they're all just versions of love songs. Right here we have a coconut. this morning. It wasn't a pretty sight, looked like a murder scene. But I've picked this thing because I think on our third record we recorded the ripping of a coconut and it sounded like space-time being torn. Now just imagine lots of delays and effects, and you've got a song. Radiohead has to be one of our biggest inspirations as a band. They felt really creatively free and bold in terms of what they do. When we started the band, we shared a love of an act called Book of Shade. They had an album called Movements, and it's just an incredible album. If I could time travel to any era of music, the late 70s, I love disco. I love the fashion. And I love the music. Makes me want to dance. It probably will never happen, but a RÜFÜS DU SOL disco album would be pretty fun. If we could make the soundtrack to a film, what would it be? That's tough because I love films. I love scores. And I love soundtracks. It'd be maybe something like Fight Club. Or maybe a sci-fi. Some twisted sci-fi. Feels weird to hold these like this. I don't cook often, but I have been cooking pasta a lot more because I've been training for a marathon, which means I need to eat a lot of carbs. But I've really enjoyed breaking spaghetti. Bring one album to a deserted island, it would probably be OK Computer by Radiohead. It just feels like a really timeless album. Climbing Up the Walls is probably one of my favorite songs. It just feels like a really wild and free album where they were just having a good time. I feel like that's our goal as a band, is just to have fun in the studio, not be too serious. It's easy to get serious in there. If I could switch lives with anyone for a day, I might switch with my son, actually. I have a 5-year-old son, and I love the way he sees things, and I'd love to see through his eyes for a day. Just think what he thinks. Move around the world like him. I think my favorite way to spend my day with my family is probably by the beach. We live like 5 blocks from the beach. I don't know, we can just lose hours there. It's nice. Going to the movies. I love movies. If we're not touring or making an album, or there's a day off, I often go to the movies by myself. I've got 2 movies that I've seen recently that I really loved. One was Dune Part 2. There's not a lot of talking in it, which is cool because, I don't know, it's an epic story and I'm engaged the whole time. And sound is a huge part of it. And music. I think there's a kissing scene. And there's just a big chord that's just like so euphoric. I haven't felt like a kissing scene feel so heroic for a while. Probably since Titanic or something. And then Furiosa. I love the Mad Max films. They're just so out there and arty. Like, it's wild choices. And I love it. It's just fun to watch any artist make some wild calls. And I feel like they do that a lot in that film. This was more personal curiosity because I really wanted to hear what Seaweed crushing would sound like. I feel like it'd sound cool. I feel like we're in our studio. We definitely do a bunch of this. And the whole reason we do it is because we're trying to emulate the crackle from vinyl. So we'll like rip paper or we'll light a match. I think we've crushed prawn crackers before. Not good because it smells like prawns after you do it. So don't try that one. I think one of the most surreal moments for us was probably when we got a Grammy Award. It just seemed so ridiculous at the time. We're from Australia, and I don't think you ever really think about success outside of Australia when you're starting out. And yeah, fast forwarding like 10 years or whatever it was after we started, getting to be on like a stage to accept an award was weirdly like a lucid dream. Like, I remember hearing them call our name out and being like, wait, what's going on? And you're wearing, you know, some sort of fancy outfit that you're like, well, it's, it was strange and also amazing. Felt a lot of euphoria and gratitude and for the people that had gotten us there. And that's definitely one of the most surreal moments. My one bit of advice for an aspiring artist is to dive deep down the rabbit hole of whatever it is that you're excited by. If it's finding the crackle of a vinyl, however you can emulate that, or if it's, you know, a specific chord or song structure or a lyric or a tone of a vocal, I think it's really important to follow that rabbit hole as far as it goes, and you'll know when you need to take a step out of the hole. I'm Tyrone from RÜFÜS DU SOL. Thank you so much for tuning in to my mind massage.